Who's talking? I'm talking. I'm explaining the Symphony of History to Sarah, or what I call, we could also call it the one anothering revolution, the Bible reenactment. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to take people from one position to the position of speaking effectively to the right kind of people so as to accomplish things to bring about the more fullness of the kingdom. And how we do it is we have a covenant activity. A covenant is how God acts with people according to different steps. And an example of that would be the days of creation. The first 5 commandments, the Beatitudes, they're all a series of steps which could be seen as part of the worship service structure. We have, in ours, we have 5 C's. We're called in. We're cleansed by confessing and being forgiven authoritatively by the pastor. Then we're consecrated by the sermon. We're communed by the bread and the wine, and then we're commissioned and sent out. And the first 5 commandments work very similarly. You know, God brought us out of Egypt without no other gods. Get rid of our idols. We find out what lifting up the name is. Then we have the Sabbath rest of the bread and the wine, and then having honored our father and mother, we are sent out to the land the Lord has given us. Now, you've been our videographer of recording a series of 4 very long periods of time, it seems, where I was explaining this. At the end of it, Elder Rorta said, well, that's simple. And so what we have that all on CD. And people who send in to us, we'll send that to them. Free of charge. Or for, no, not free of charge. Now, how did you understand what we were doing?
Well, I'm not sure I'm ready to be put on the spot.
So you were going to be, you had a certain mission situation that you wanted to find out how to do most effectively, which was your babysitting. So in other words, like as it says in the Bible, when the tabernacle was being made, of course that was being made, the materials were from the spoils of the Egyptians, but also the sons of Israel, the Israelites, contributed as their hearts moved them. So your heart was this babysitting thing, and your mother was doing music. And what we're going to do, we're going to take this relatively inarticulate desire to do something good, and we're going to move it through the sequence of the Bible and the sequence of dialogical things that Rosenstock-Huessy has articulated, such that at the end it became, as your father said, oh, I understand this now, it's simple. It became objective. You started with the imperative, which was you wanted to do something. Then you had the subjective, which is, well, how do we really do this? We're not sure. Then we had the narrative, which is when we took it to Bible study, and your father explained it to people. And then the 4th time we did it, at the end of it, he said, oh, that's just part of reality now. That's just, we got it. So what we do is that's what we do. And it's a series of interactions in initiation and response, like the Psalms, like psalmodic response. God speaks and we echo back, we amen. But everybody gets to speak a universe of what I call questions to everybody else each time, and then taking those initiations that have come into us, we articulate back answers, plus we do solos. The first week you have 10 words, next week you had 70 words, next week you had 153 words, and then the final time you do it, you have around 500 words. 430 words would be having been in Egypt for 430 years. 480 words would be, that's how many years it took to build the temple after they got into the land. And 490 was the amount of Sabbaths, amount of years that they didn't give the land its Sabbath, so they had to go into exile, that kind of thing. And so at the end then, you have matured just as Jesus is the first adult. And he incarnated the Word and died for the next era. You have matured in order so to do that the same way, because we take you through the Bible in 4-step, the testament of the ox, lion, eagle, and man, or the period of Torah, wisdom, prophecy, and gospel. And that is, we're claiming that's the same as the liturgy. And I'm claiming this is, the important thing about this is that it's the third millennium. The first millennium was the covenant applied, oriented toward the heavens above. That's how we got our liturgy. Everything important happened in the first millennium was in the church, according to Rosenstock-Huessy. And then the second millennium I'm claiming, which I don't know if anybody else claims this, but I'm claiming it, that once you got that done, you got the one God established, then you could investigate the waters under the earth as if they were not charmed by other gods. You could just investigate them as part of nature. And once that's done, which we're tremendously scientifically wise and still continuing on, then the next thing, since God made the heavens above, the earth beneath, and the waters under the earth, and we've done the heavens above with the liturgy, we've done the waters under the earth with the scientific method and the nations, the next thing is the earth beneath. And since we're made out of dust, we are the earth beneath. So we interact with each other in great complexity as a symphonic kind of thing, themes interacting, themes being repeated, etc., in this symphony of history, which we, one-anothering, there's a lot of one-anothering in the New Testament. We're always told of one another, and we would be one-anothering each other.